Damir and Derya, welcome on stage.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Damir, first to you. I had heard Sevda before, many times. But it was your album called Damir, the Black Album, that was the first time I became aware of any Turkish connection with Sevda. In the way you play the guitar and some of the... Why did I hear that for the first time on your album?
Well, I maybe accented it, that particular album a bit more. I was influenced a lot by saz players. I was trying to learn about Ottoman classical music because we have so many similarities in Bosnia because it was basically ruled by Ottoman Empire for some 500 years. And I was trying to learn about, scales, rhythms and everything else, not only from traditional musicians and old masters I studied with in Bosnia, but also from, people in different other areas of Ottoman Empire. So maybe that's the reason.
So it's not a sort of a touchy subject in Bosnia.
No, I mean, before it used to be, during the Kingdom of Yugoslavia, between two world wars and during socialism, it was because, Ottoman Empire was a foreign invader in the Balkans, and us as being Slavic people, some people converted to Islam, some didn't, and they were considered to be under heavy Turkish influence, of course. In many other places, but not anymore. I think today it's just cultural thing. You recognize the influences you had throughout your history as a kind of a normal thing. Of course, you always have nationalists and idiots who make problems like that, but I don't think in like mainstream audience it's a problem.
So you switched from the guitar to a completely new instrument that you sort of co-developed with a builder.
Yes, what I play now it's still a guitar. I was trying to fuse traditional instrument called saz that's played wisely in Mediterranean areas and also in this Ottoman context and throughout Mediterranean. And it's played in Bosnia as well. Let me show you, because talking about music is like dancing to architecture, as they say.
Yes.
So it's basically this spear-shaped body that's coming from the saz.
Right.
And I did try different variants of strings and strings composition and tunings. Now I'm back at guitar tuning, but I'm just using the resonance of saz, and which will people hear later on the stage.
Right.
At 7 o'clock. But I still have ideas how to. I call it tambura or tambur, which is a name for all these kinds of instruments in Bosnia. And it's made by one Bosnian luthier from Sarajevo in combination with one Slovenian guitar luthier. So it's a work in progress, as they say.
Yeah. You also wrote sort of a standard work about Sevda.
I did write. At some point, I realized that Bosnia being a small place and just 3.5 million people, so its culture is not very big and famous. Unfortunately, we are mostly famous for the war in the 90s or the assassination of Archduke Ferdinand, which started the First World War. And I felt that if I want people to know more about Sevda music, I needed to, help them educate, help them find information and get education about the music. And also, many things I do in some kind of my own version of the music is based in the tradition. And if people don't understand the tradition, then, they don't understand what I play with. So that was the main reason why I, in 2015, wrote a book about history of Sevda music.
Would you say that the tradition is still very much alive in Bosnia?
Yes, it is. We just had the festival in Sarajevo. We came from Sarajevo where we played a really nice festival. Actually, that was a meeting of European Jazz Network in Sarajevo, and we presented different other Sevda performers, among other younger Sevda performers to the audience. So there are still young people interested in the music, doing different things. Some of them are really I would say even too conservative for my taste. But some are, trying to do new stuff with it, and which I think is really important. And also not only, in terms of playing and singing, but of a social context. People are introducing many different new stories that are important.
Right. So now you are collaborating with a master of Ottoman music from Turkey.
My master Yoda.
Derya Türkan, welcome. Your specialty is really the Ottoman music from the Sultan's court, really the old
Yeah.
court music.
Yes, I'm saying this is the Istanbul music. Why I'm saying Istanbul music? Istanbul is a very has a beautiful culture and mixed culture also. And but kemençe was a folk instrument.
Right.
It was no in the palace. It was no classical music. I mean.
Yeah.
But after 20th century, Tamburi Cemil Bey used the classical tunes and kemençe entering the classical music, even religion music.
So in a little bit you will play together with Erik van der Weste.
Yes.
And as I remember correctly, that collaboration came from the fact that you had a trio with Renaud Garcia Fons,
Yes.
who was not available for a tour, and Erik stepped in, right?
Yeah.
He had to study the material in
Yeah.
a short while.
Eric and me, we met each other since more than 10 years.
Right.
I had another project with Renaud Garcia Fons and the cellist, Turkish cellist Uğur Işık, Minstrel Era. He joined it sometimes, and we played together. It's double bass and kemençe very fixed, and I love playing with the double bass players.
So what you will play now with Erik, is that Ottoman music?
No, we are going to play his compositions,
Aha.
jazz compositions. But Eric also has very interested in the classical Turkish music, and he knows very well. And he used some rhythmical things and some makam spices,
Well, thank you both very much.
Thank you.
Tom.
And now the stage is for Derya Türkan
thank
on
you
the
very much.
kemençe and Erik van der Weste on the double bass. Thank you very much.